3 things you should know before you buy Sony FX30. I have been using this camera, Sony FX30, a lot. You know, this made a lot of YouTube videos and this made money when it comes to, shooting client works. Man, I really love this camera. So I've been recommending to you guys, and this channel. But there are 3 cons that you must know before you actually buy, because that could be a huge reason not to get this camera. Weak low light performance, short battery life, noise on 4K 120 FPS. And actually, there is one more, but I'm saving it for later. Watch this until the end. Oh, and especially if you're on the fence buying this Sony FX30, why not? Okay, first of all, weak low light performance. So about this, we already knew, right? And I also knew about this and accepted once. I was okay in most of scenarios. First of all, I used to shoot videos with this, still I do, in a situation and location with a good lighting setup. No matter if it's my YouTube content or interview or documentary. But lately, I do run in a gun style with this without a good lighting setup. When the low light weakness that this FX30 originally had gets more obvious. It has a dual native ISO 800 and 2500, but the range between those two, 800 and 2500, is narrow. And it doesn't help me in low light situation that much. Even when it's f2.8 lens and use ISO 2500, which is a higher native ISO, that is not enough in a run and a gun low light situation. So eventually you're gonna bump up to ISO like 6400, which generates the noise. For example, FX3 has a ISO 800 and 12800, which help you a lot in a low light situation. So if you use this FX30 in a well-lighted environment, I guess it's not a big deal. This dual native ISO 800 and 2500 are enough. But if you do a lot of low-light street running a gun style shooting, this weak low-light performance will be a huge deal. So next thing is short battery life. I was gonna show you the battery, but I can't get it up. Okay, don't think like it's bad as Blackmagic 6K, which only lasts for 30 minutes. So, I'm using Blackmagic 6K right here, right now, but I am using the external battery source like this. So at least it's better than that. About a week ago, I directed a weird situation, weird shooting work, which used 5 FX30s. There are 5 operators with 5 FX30s and it's kind of hard to explain, but they were shooting, outside pretty much all day under the very hot weather. I guess because of the heat and shooting for long hours continuously, but FX30s, those 5 FX30s were swallowing the power so much. And you know what? The shooting itself went well, but it was so close. So I thought I should have some, solution. So FX30 is a video specialized camera. So I think you expect to use this camera in that type of situation. Especially the work which requires same things as mine, shooting for long hours continuously and need a bunch of power. So you definitely think about the solution before you actually buy this camera for that type of use. I found my solution, the V-Mont battery. But this couldn't have accomplished without a Smallrig, which is today's sponsor. So I use Smallrig V-Mont battery everywhere, anytime. Everywhere, anytime. Everywhere, anytime, anywhere. Especially this is pretty much necessary for, documentary, interview, which requires you to shoot for long hours continuously. So if you do a lot of shooting works, you definitely need at least one V-Mont battery. First of all, what is the V-Mont battery? So this V-Mont battery is used for external power source for video lights, monitors, and cameras. It has a large power capacity, which allows you to use the device for long hours. So when it comes to the V-Mont batteries, there are tons of, product options from tons of different companies. I'll be honest with you guys, this time Smallrig sent me those products, but before this, I already bought it by myself from, Smallrig. This one right here. Maybe, you guys have seen it in my channel. I guess, because I'm using this so much. So the reason why I choose Smallrig V-Mont battery is that they have a variety of interfaces on them and relatively budget, small and light compared to other, brand V-Mont batteries. I thought this would be perfect for me, who is, the independent filmmaker. Another great thing is there are several product choices, so you can choose the perfect match for your use. But what I really recommend to most of you guys is this VV99 SE. So it is actually crazy that you can have a V-Mont battery with this size, weight, so compact and light. I have several batteries, but I use this VV99 most. It doesn't take a lot of space and it can fit my camera bag so well like this. It's light, portable, but it has total output power 100 watt. Although this has a large capacity, it can be fully charged in 3 hours with 65 watt power fast charging. Also, the quality of battery is so good. It has an intelligent BMS chip which allows it to have several protections such as, over discharge protection and temperature protection, meaning it's safe. But the biggest difference from traditional V-Mont battery is interfaces. This got USB Type-C, Type-A, and 12.8 volt out, and of course D-tap right here. And there are several holes and BP in and out. And it got OLED display, which enables accurate monitoring of the battery status. So this is a professional external battery for filmmakers and photographers. But this totally can fit your everyday life. I bring this out for, shooting work and business trip and even my family, trip. And also this VV212 is a great option for people who need a stronger power. Basically the structure is same as VV99, but it got more capacity and interfaces. It is fully charged in 2 hours with 140 watt, but it has total power output 212 watt. How big and strong is you can charge your MacBook Pro 13-inch about 3.5 times, iPhone 15 Pro Max 13 times. And it can run Blackmagic 6K for about 9 hours. So this is a V-Mont battery, so this can be a workhorse for filmmaking situation. But this can be the power station as well, providing the power to your computer and a smartphone, and of course charging your filmmaking devices. It got multiple interfaces, so you can charge several devices at the same time. Although it's bigger and heavier than this 99, VV99, but still, think about 200 watt, V-Mont battery, but this size, weight, and it's relatively budget. This can give you the stamina and safety. So at the last, let me show you guys an interesting product. This one. This NP-F970 rechargeable USB Type-C battery. This is not a V-Mont battery, it's more like a casual battery that you can use for many ways. Like for light, camera, and your electronic devices. I think the most major way to use this battery is for the monitor. Most of monitors accept this type of battery, NP-F, and they need to be charged on this station. But this Smallrig rechargeable can be charged directly through USB Type-C with 36 watts in 3.5 hours. And it has 10,500 mAh. So it's pretty enough for one-day shooting and a one-day trip. It got an NP-F main port right here and USB Type-C in and out and USB Type-A out. And of course, this has display as well. It looks simpler and easier than VV series, but this also got a solid safety as well. So I recommend this VV99 for independent filmmakers and photographers, and this VV212 for the creator, which has a big budget shooting work. And this NP-F970 rechargeable battery for, the run and a gun style. And I guess for most of you guys. FX30 is fantastic video camera and it can give you an amazing image quality and shooting experience, but it doesn't last that long. Everything is over once the battery dies. Get the extra stamina and eager more. So like I said, FX30 has an amazing video spec, including 4K 120 FPS. Even though it got a crop, it is always great option, but I think this camera gets a noise on that. When it comes to the normal situation, not a difficult situation, that's alright. Well, at this point, it's not the cleanest, I compare it with a Lumix S5 to 4K 60 FPS before, but you can see the shadow is not super clean at this point. When the exposure is low, not a low light situation, just the shadow is deep. It gets the noise, not super rough, but not clean. So this is a comparison between FX30 4K 120 FPS and A7 IV 4K 60 FPS. Look at this dark part of this rock. FX30 got more noise. This is why I don't use slow motion on FX30. The function itself is great. I might use it when I really have to use it. For example, I don't come up with anything because I don't, get to have that type of situation. But let's say it's sport. But in general, I don't want to use it because there's a clear image quality difference between, not slow motion footage and slow motion footage. So if you're the type of slow-mo person, you want to reconsider about the purchase of this camera. Okay, this is it. Today, I talked about 3 cons of FX30 that you should really know before you actually buy this camera. I think people who are thinking about the purchase of this camera want to use it for work. Those 3 things might possibly make you, feel you regret buying this camera. So I just wanted to give you the warning. But even though FX30 has those cons, it's still great, video camera. Yes, low light performance is not good, but this makes you not to rely on ISO too much. And it makes you to use the light to make a, right exposure in that scenario. Short battery life. Well, this makes you, learn about the camera accessories such as V-Mont battery or the rig for that setup. Not good quality 120 FPS. Again, this makes you not to rely on slow motion to express cinematic feel. Those things eventually allow you to level up your skill. It's easy to have and use a top level camera, but that doesn't make you grow. It doesn't even have to be FX30. It can be, A6600 or A7 III. You are fine. Make an effort to produce great image quality by your knowledge and skill. This is what I really wanted to tell you in this video. Technology is developing. Human is degrading. What can we do? Do not rely on it too much. Rely on yourself. Okay, this is it. If you have any question, just shoot me anytime, anywhere. And if you like this video, show me a thumb and hit the subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. じゃあまた。